Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've got another video for you today. Probably one of the easiest videos I'll ever shoot. So we're gonna change the differential, the gear oil in the differential, the rear differential. The front differential is going to be pretty much the same. If you have a steering stabilizer, you'll have to take the mount off like mine. This is easy to do as long as you can figure out righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, you're good. If you can run a tube of RTV and make a gasket, you're good. So these trucks, at least in the Sterling 10.5, which is what most of these trucks came with, there is no gasket between the differential cover and the actual differential. So Ford, from the factory, just used RTV, and I'll show you guys how to do that. A lot of you guys that are probably subscribed to my channel probably won't even watch this because it's literally really easy, but there's going to be 5-10 of you out there that are scared to do this because you think you're going to mess something up. I can guarantee you won't. As long as you follow what I tell you to do, you'll be good. And it's a good idea to change the differential oil, or I guess it'd be lube oil, I don't know. It's thicker than regular engine oil. You got to make sure you get what these trucks want. It's good to do it. I do it every 50,000 miles. I'm at 186 right now. I bought it with 26,000 miles on the truck, so 50, 67. Okay, well, I'm about 10,000 miles over, but I need to get it done, so I figured I'd make a video about it. So let's get under the truck and I'll show you guys what you got to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're under the truck. It took me a little bit. I removed my spare for clarity because it hangs down to about here. I wanted to make sure you guys could see this, but it's pretty easy. All we're gonna do is these bolts right here, I'm gonna break them loose with a wrench first. I'm gonna use my fancy Milwaukee Fuel, not sponsored, ratchet to back them all out. I'm gonna leave the top two loose, the one with the identification tag and one of these. Tools you're going to need for this is a 1/2-inch wrench, of course, ratchet. You don't have to use one of these. You can use a regular, you can use this for the whole job if you want. Limited slip supplement. These are limited slip rear ends. You need to add this to the gear oil to make sure the inner workings get all the lubrication they need. And then don't just go throwing some regular old orange RTV on there. You want to get some that is made for gear oil. Otherwise you're going to be you're going to be adding gear oil to this pretty frequently if you don't get the right silicone. But it's high temp, it's made for rear ends. That's what we're going to use, and I'll show this whole process. But this is the part where I speed everything up because I'm ready to start cracking these loose. So here we go. So if it's nice and tight, you can use a putty knife to get in there. So something I will note, when you're trying to pry this away, don't get in there at an angle with a screwdriver and start tapping in, because what you're going to do is, this metal's hard, but something sharp with force will mark it up, and the last thing you want to do is create a leak. So I'm going to be real careful to get this separated without tearing anything up. So once you hear that noise, see how it's starting to leak oil out. Get something in there. And I think you guys can figure out why I left a screw up there. I'll put this in here. I want to be able to pry and let it drain without the pan falling down because we broke the seal. So let her drain out. That's some nasty stuff. And at this point you can just kind of hold it. Nothing like the smell of used gear oil and limited slip additive. Boy, I tell you what, ain't nothing like it in the world. It's a smell you will not forget. I'll tell you that right off the bat. So once you get her cracked open, she's draining, you can take this last one out. You want to save this tag. Has your gear ratio and what kind of rear end you have on it. So once you get this bad boy open, I got a little bit of hook right there. You want to inspect for damage, which so far I see none. But we're going to do a little bit better than a once over. Get all the junk out of there. I've got some brake clean that we're going to spray the carrier off. Make damn sure with whatever you're doing that you don't mess up any of the teeth. This is kind of like a toner wheel, kind of like the teeth that are on your front hubs. There's a sensor up front here. I think I got my finger on it. It's on the left side of the drive shaft up top. There's a sensor. It reads your how fast your rear end is going. I believe that's how it does. I think the ABS uses it, and I think your speedometer is off that. Don't quote me, I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, we're gonna let that drain. We're gonna put some rags up here and then use a wire wheel to clean all this off. You gotta have a nice good clean mating surface for putting new goop on there. Yeah, so let's let this drain for a second and I'll be right back with you guys. So something to note that I almost forgot to tell you guys. In these Sterling 10.5s, there's little dimples right here. There's little cavities in the bottom of the differential, and it's meant to be any solids that are heavier than the gear oil will accumulate down there, not tear up your rear end. So make sure when you're doing this that you get down in there with a rag and clean out any gunk, which I have a little bit. Using a little bit of brake cleaner to break it up, and then use my rag to clean it up real good. Make sure, yeah, see, I've got sludge in there. Make sure you get all the brake clean out, which it evaporates pretty quickly, so as long as you're wiping, you're getting all of it. Alright guys, we got this about cleaned up. I will share with you a mistake that I see a lot of guys make. So RTV silicone is an oil-based adhesive, I guess is what you'd call it. And you just got done draining a whole crap ton of oil out of the back of this, right? So what I do is I take my brake cleaner and I'll spray it on a rag like here, and then I want to clean this mating surface of all oils. It'll go to like a dull gray. You can see it evaporating. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see it evaporating, which tells me that it's cleaner, you know, so that the pores of the metal, which are microscopic almost, but the pores of the metal are getting the oil cleaned out of them. So you want to do that before you put RTV on there, so that it has something to grab a hold of and adhere to, right? So one, don't go crazy with the RTV. A good solid bead all the way around the bolt holes is more than enough. And then I will RTV the bolts, which it looks like Ford did the same thing. I'm going to clean them up, and then I'll RTV these, because some of these passageways go straight into the differential. Okay, so there's oil, there'll be oil sitting, you know, where's the hole? Okay, so about center of the differential, the oil level will be right here. All these bolt holes, with the exception of these three bottom ones, so this one, the two sides, and this one, go straight into the differential. So you could potentially, or you know, maybe there's a small hairline crack right here, because these are actually drilled all the way through. These don't go into the case, but maybe there's a hairline crack or a hole or something. It lets oil get to the head of the bolt, and then you haven't RTV'd the bolt, and it seeps its way out. So always better to be sealed and safe than find out you have to redo this. So just a tip. I'm going to finish cleaning. I've got the differential clean. Now I'm going to take the cover out from underneath the truck. I'm going to clean it, and we'll get ready to RTV this, put the cover back on, and fill the differential. So hang tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the differential nice and clean. Got the cover nice and clean. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bead of silicone or RTV or whatever. We're going to follow that line, and I'm actually going to go right with that line. And then we'll put the bolts in and fill her up. So stand by. Oh, come on, dude, really? Pro microphone landed right in the silicone. YouTube fails. Alright guys, looked it up. The torque is 25 to 39 foot-pounds. I don't know why I thought it was inch-pounds, but I have my torque wrench set for 35 foot-pounds. And we're going to torque them real quick. Alright guys, I don't know how much of this you can see, but maybe it'll focus. There's a plug right here, and a normal 3/8 ratchet and extension will fit right into it. Or if you're a wuss and you need the leverage, you just put that bad boy in there and get her to turning. You take that plug out. So the Sterling 10.5, which is this rear end, calls for 75 140 gear oil and our limited slip supplement. So for entire contents into the differential. So you dump this whole bottle in there, and then you're going to add gear oil until it starts leaking out. You don't even got to mess with how much do I need, none of that crap. You go till she starts leaking out. Put her cover back on and then stick her in there. And then what I like to do is, because the way the rear end's built, you can't get all the way up in there. So what I'm going to do is mix what's left in this right on top of the gear oil that I'm getting ready to dump in there. Excuse me. Alright folks, the battery's about to die on this camera again. Swear to God, GoPro makes all their money off camera batteries, but so it started running out. I let it continue to run out till it stopped. And then a good way to check, if you're not filling it and you just want to check your differential, take your pinky, stick in there, and just barely touch down, and you should come out with some gear oil. If you have to reach down in there, it's low. So you want it even with the bottom of the hole, and that's how you know you're good. So that's going to be a wrap for this video. It's just put this plug back in and go drive the truck. So we are good to go. Thank you for watching. If you like these videos, you want to see more of them, give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, all the stuff every YouTuber ever says. You know, I appreciate it. It helps the channel, helps me make more videos. I'm not gonna make videos if nobody wants to look at them. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good afternoon, evening, whatever, and we'll see you guys in the next one.